What up guys, I hope you're all good. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. In this video, as you can tell from the title, it's an intro to JavaScript. So JavaScript works in hand with HTML and CSS to build websites. JavaScript, remember that HTML puts HTML puts words in a web page. CSS makes the web page look attractive with color and the way it structures it and things like that. JavaScript makes the web page more interactive. The web page or website more interactive. What I mean by this, it's like, you know, when you're trying to log in into something, you know that login was like created with HTML and CSS, and you log in and you put a username, but then you didn't put a password. You log in and then there's that message that says please fill in the missing password. That's JavaScript. You know those pop-up things like that says, do you want the cookie, do you accept the cookie when you go to a website? That's JavaScript. Those pop-up robotic interactive, it looks like a robot is in the website. That's how JavaScript works, you know. It's more like programming. It's similar to JavaScript. It's a language like programming, but the only difference is that the syntax is similar but not the same. It doesn't use a compiler. You are the compiler. Yeah, it's just the same way you treat HTML and CSS is the same way you're going to treat JavaScript. So let me go right into it. So use Notepad++. Let me type like this and see. Okay, you can zoom like this. You use your mouse to zoom the same way you zoom a touch screen, you know. Yeah, so I'm going to remember HTML and remember this, right? And you remember what? Style for your CSS, style in your web development to what? 2A, yeah. Then in 2B, yeah, things like that. 2B is JavaScript. So you don't need all this basically in JavaScript. JavaScript, I mean, you could if you were coding them all together, but you could sometimes code JavaScript alone. So here, you don't even need the HTML part. You just type script, right? Sorry, forgot the tag. Script, and then script. Boom. Now in here you're ready to code something JavaScript. You save your file, Control S, or you could click here, and then you say intro to JavaScript, and then you save it in a spit. And then you look for hypertext markup language. That's what you're gonna do, right? And then boom, it's saved. So you wanna say hello world. You do document.write hello world. Hello world is a thing that we all do when we're starting to learn a new language. It's like trying to learn how to greet in isiZulu. That's just how it is with JavaScript. We're gonna look for this one, hello world. Boom, you know, the beauty. Then we're gonna look for, all right, so okay, yeah, perfect. Now I want to create a data type. Int age is equal to 21, right? Oh, it didn't work. Why? Because we don't do int anymore. We use something called var. Var is like used everywhere. And then we refresh, we have 21. Boom. Same thing, var. You don't use string anymore. You use var for string because var is smart. var could tell that, oh, you are assigning this variable to an integer. The moment it sees a number, it already knows that it's an integer. And even if you type .1111 or I don't need to say double. Nah, you just say var. var is var. var is variable, so var is var. So I mean, it will still work, you know. So var is smart. You can even do var for string, like let's just say name. You see, var is used everywhere. JavaScript made your life simple. Unlike sensitive Java that will tell you, oh, int, double, string, float, var is var. So let's say my name, yeah, Willie. Wow, I even forgot my own name. And here you change your name, Willie. You alright? No, actually name. And then you refresh, Willie. Simple. I taught you a data type that fast. Can you imagine? Wow. I hope I'm quick enough. Yes, textbooks will tell you and say, oh, you should actually do like this, you know, because you're using Windows XP or you're using the old version of Notepad++, whatever. But guys, these days, I bet your computer is sophisticated enough. You don't need to be so specific to tell Notepad++. You don't need to be so specific to tell your text editor that this is going to be JavaScript, right? And you refresh it, it still works. It already knows. Like the moment you typed script, it was so smart enough to tell it's a JavaScript, right? So done. You're done like that. How about I could tell you something important that your lecturer will keep stressing you about, which is creating an external file. Bear with me, right? First of all, we have to create a folder, right? Called cool JS folder. And you move that one, you change the location, and probably this one's gonna get pissed off. Oh, it's not, doesn't exist in here anymore. Yeah, no, it doesn't. So let's check here. All right, still saved. Okay. It does scare you when it shows like it's empty, right? Let me just refresh it. Look, now we have something in there. So we open it. Bear with me. Now you create a new file, right? These things that you coded in here, Control X, Control cut, right? And I'm going to comment and say check the external file. External JS file. Okay, let's make it like this, right? Then here I'm gonna paste everything that's in here and control save, right? So I'm gonna call this JS external 01 because we don't know how many externals you all are gonna create, so we're just gonna say 01. So we're gonna click here, and we're not gonna use hypertext markup language file. We're gonna start using something called JavaScript file, right? You look for the location, desktop, and what was the thing called? Cool, right? Cool JS folder. Save it there. Do you see the exact name up here? JS external 01. You go here and say source. This is source, right? But actually you do like this. Source equal to JS external 01.js. You save. Alright. What it does is that everything that's in here, this one is basically because Google Chrome, your browser, is going to check the codes that are in here. There's nothing. So it's going to check what's in that folder that you called out. And once it goes to that folder, it's going to see the functions that you coded for that folder. Just like that. You don't need to type script closing tags, whatever. You just type the actual codes, straight to the point codes. The script, whatever, is already done here. So yeah, that's what you do. So if we were to run this, can you imagine, guys, there's like nothing here. That is so scary, right? But if we were to open thingy, it's going to say Willy. Still the same thing. Can you see how interesting that is? Let's create you know, so I'm gonna go here and I'm gonna code anything I want. The real coding starts here. So now you don't double click here. That's dumb. You don't do that. You open with thingy and code whatever is in here, right? Because I already opened it, so yeah. So this one is your public speaker. This one is the quiet guy who's too shy to talk. So he tells this one to do whatever he wants. So this one says, hey, what do you want to say? Hey, I want to say this, I want to say that. You see what I'm saying? So yeah. I want to display Willy 10 times. How do I do that? I create a for loop, right? So maybe I can delete this. Well, okay. Now I display Willy 10 times. So let's create a for loop that displays Willy 10 times. The same way you did with JS, guys. If you know JS, you had, I mean, the same way you did with Java. If you know Java, then you're at a big advantage here. So we're gonna say name equal to 1. Where no, actually, interesting fact. We're gonna use something else, like count. Var count, actually var count. Var count 1. Count must be less than, where count is one step at a time, iteration. And then this one, you don't have to change anything. You just code here. And then if I refresh this page, Willy. Ah, I don't like it when it's like this, yo. You know, like, so I'm sure you're questioning, why can't I put right line? Like, yeah, you did that with like what, print line and stuff. You think you can, it's going to create a small space, right? But you don't want this. How do you do this? You actually sorry, my bad, where's this file? So you actually go here and then you type just remove this for a while, and then you type plus inverted commas br. Use that HTML tag br. You know what br does? It breaks a line. It creates a new line. So the 5 function Willy 10 times. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. All right, I don't want name, sorry. Okay, how about I want just count. See? So it shows 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. Beauty, right? It's beautiful. Now I can create a pop-up box. All right. Instead of writing this, I could actually write alert. Or I could write, normally the textbook will tell you to Windows, you know, window.alert, whatever. Then I want it to be less than, maybe I want 4, you know. I might confuse you a bit, but yeah, bear with me. Oh shucks. Okay, this was okay. So let me remove, we don't need BR here in the alert. So watch this, right? So you see this code, right? Window.alert. Then check here. If I refresh, 1 2 3 4 3, right? So you can do so many things with JavaScript, guys. This is, yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please like, comment, share, subscribe. I showed you how to get started with JavaScript, how to be comfortable with JavaScript, the important things like external files and JavaScript. You know, you sometimes you don't even have to create a folder. If it's in the same location, it works. Like if I, for example, you will do this mistake, it happens. So let's say why is this? I put this here, right? It won't work because it's not in the same location as the JS file. But if I my mouse is a bit dizzy, guys. If I put this in the same location, the location is the desktop area, and I run it, boom, it works. 1 2 3 3. Why 3? Because it's less than 3. I mean less than 4. That's why. So yeah, at least now you know, guys. So yeah, share with your friends. It's important to get started with JavaScript. I wish I was in second year, because I understand here, I'm excited, I'm finishing school, whatever, as a final year. But the thing is, like, I didn't take JavaScript seriously. I sucked at it, you know. I wasn't, you know. But now, as we speak, like, even though I'm doing C# and other 3 modules or 4 modules, whatever, since I don't do web development anymore, I'm still investing my time for web development. As we speak, I'm doing JavaScript because you can create cool websites with it, and I like web development. So it's interesting. I thought programming was a thing. It is a thing. It's just that now I'm invested in web development. There's so much things you can do. So when you get to my stage as a third year, you'll realize why web development is important. It's not just programming, you know. Web development is everywhere compared to programming. So yeah, that's what I'm making use of. And yeah, guys, practice. Get a textbook called JavaScript Beginner's Guide. Any type of textbook that talks about JavaScript, web page, interactive, beginner's guide, anything. It helps you get started with JavaScript, because JavaScript, don't get the wrong ones, like JavaScript as a programming language not used for web development. Because JavaScript, you know, get the ones that shows like building web page websites, JavaScript type of textbooks, the ones that's best friends with HTML and CSS. Get those type of ones. They'll help you get started. Especially they'll help you be comfortable with Notepad++. And okay, so the one I'm using is the 4th edition. It doesn't matter what edition you guys are using. Mine is a 4th edition, JavaScript, a beginner's guide. The author is John Pollock, like Paul and Lock, Pollock. So yeah, he's great. 500 pages. So yeah, the study guide helps, but make use of the textbooks. They open your mind. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and peace.